And I'm Josh Budillon, and we're here at the 2014 ISA Boys and Girls Championship. And we caught up with some members of Team Jamaica Bickle. We caught up with Miss Cowan, Mr. Clark, and Mr. Ozone. So let's just get on this ball rolling. First question, Jay, you take it.
You know, just to add a little bit more to the excitement, you know, Team Jamaica Bickle provides some form of support for Jamaican athletes leaving the island and going to the Penleys, which is their main focus. They provide cuisine, transportation, and now they're providing medical care, dental care to be specific. And what else, Nzingo?
Well, basically, they also provide bookings for them at the Penleys and furthermore.
So that's accommodation. And interestingly, we had a pre-interview with Mr. Lance Clark, who shared with me that he's also a former athlete for his school, Jamaica College. Now, I think you'd be delighted to share his experience being an athlete at his school.
Well, this is one of the reasons that the champs is a big thing for me. In my day, it was boys champs. Boys champs occupied 2 or 3 days. The girls champs was different. But I had the opportunity to run on our track and the 200 leg of the 68 and 69 team for the sprint medley. That was fun. We didn't win. JC's always been a spoiler school. So in other words, we might not come with records, but we'll win the big trophy.
So, being here at Champs today, how are you feeling about Jamaica College's performance so far?
Quietly optimistic.
Isn't that all you can be?
Well,
they're leading. They're leading now.
Oh, very interesting. Yeah, so there's a bit of space for Jamaica College to hold the championship trophy this year.
That's a possibility. And the thing about track and field, like football, it's the moment. That moment of action. Like today, Calabar lost a lot of points because Michael O'Hara, one of their big stars, is probably injured. He was supposed to get the gold in the hurdles. He came third. And he was supposed to be a chief 100-yard specialist for Calabar. He got disqualified for false starting. So those are a lot of points. I don't know if he can do the relays because he's a 4x1. So we'll see.
So my question is going to be directed to Miss Carleen Bowen. How do you feel about seeing so many female competitors in Champs? Has been an amazing turnout for the females. How does that feel?
Well, actually, this is my very first time at Champs, and I wanted to come on here because it's Team Jamaica Bickle's 20th year celebrating what we do. So that was a culmination of, all these years. I've been with the company or the organization going on 8 years. I mean, this is wonderful that I'm seeing all these female athletes, just the athletes in general, just pushing forth and just making stride against everything. They're right there up there, right up there with the boys, I think.
So this...
May I cut in? I just add that Carleen is really the chairperson for Philadelphia, which is the place of the action for Penn Relays.
Nice.
So wait, having been to Penn, how do you compare it with Champs this year?
See, typically at Penn, I don't really get a chance to be on the field in the stands watching. So we're as the coach here in Philadelphia, I'm usually in the tent, trying to overseeing things in a sense of what, making sure all meals are on schedule and so forth. But this time, I told someone I've seen so many races in this yesterday. I think it makes up for about 3 years I've been going to at Penn Relays. So I'm just flabbergasted, very, very happy. I was really touched by the opening ceremony. We don't have that at Penn. And just to see all the schools coming out in their glory and just the presentation, the music, it was just wonderful. That so far, that's been one of the highlight. But I'm really, really looking forward to tomorrow. At Penn's Relay, we see more just the Jamaican colors. Here they have the school rivalry, which I equated to in the States we have the fraternities, the Greeks, so that's where we kind of equated to. But I'm just looking forward to everything. It's new experience. I'm just soaking it in.
Okay, so Mr. Oswald Hensel, prior to the interview, I realized that you seem to be a key supporter of the Team Jamaica Bickle movement, and yes, yes. So you're a key supporter of the Team Jamaica Bickle movement. What is the experience like for you?
It's great, our work was needed when we started, and we can see how it pays off. This will be our 20th year. And we will be celebrating in Pennsylvania our 20th year celebration. But, the kids need us, and we really gave them our all.
So what do you believe is one significant power of Team Jamaica Bickle as you continue to support athletes?
To let them be comfortable, and all we want them to do is to run on the field and win.
How does Kids Hub come into play with Team Jamaica Bickle's partnership? How does Kids Hub come into play?
Well, Kids Hub, as a broadcasting entity, brought that additional dimension to Team Jamaica Bickle, because you also you help in the preparation of our athletes for future, being able to represent themselves well, speak properly to your questions, and also their behavior. They're now conscious. They're more focused on that side of it other than just the performance.
All right, well, Mr. Oswald shared that today the Team Jamaica Bickle will be celebrating its 20th year of supporting Jamaican athletes. How do you guys feel about that? That is a significant achievement, as the Jamaican athletes will also be celebrating their 50th year participating at the Penn Relays.
Penn will be celebrating 120. So it has become a staple for especially Jamaican athletes, because in the past, like in the 50s, the 60s, even up to the 90s, early 90s, there was no Team Jamaica Bickle. The athletes came up, they slept on their family floors, their friends' floors, they ate McDonald's, they ate fast food, and we used to sell T-shirts on the sidewalk and magazines to help mainly Jamaica College, but help some of the athletes. And out of that, Mr. Ben Francis of Veer Technical High School, at a dinner that we used to have after Penn Relays with sumptuous food and everything, said, this is a waste. Why don't we have this during the time of Penn Relays rather than at the end? The idea was born. So between Irwin Clare and Blaine Stoddard, everything got started with a very magnificent help from Vincent Hosang of Royal Caribbean, their bakery. Right? Now, as we grew, it became such a staple, as I said before, that now the kids nowadays expect it. They have no clue as to what used to happen. It's 20 years later. They expect that they'll get hotel rooms at a very reasonable rate. There are no longer flights going into Philadelphia. So we have the added responsibility of transporting them from New York, which is where they're mainly flying, from New York into Philadelphia. That's a major, major responsibility, because now we're doing road travel with people's children. Let me stop there.
Alright, so Miss Carleen Bowden, it has come to my attention that Irie Jam is also a part of the Team Jamaica Bickle group. What has the excitement been like for them?
Well,
I'll let Dan take that one.
I will speak with her because she's in Philly, and Irie Jam is really a New York radio station. Irie Jam has always supported, well, not always, they're not that old as an entity. They do broadcasting, they have an organization for entertainment, they do concerts, and they back the special May meet, which is one of the Diamond League meets. they're usually there, and they back what we do. And also, Irwin does a broadcast on Sunday evenings, and he's a part of that Irie Jam conglomeration.
Okay, well, I would like to thank you all for joining. Oh, you have something you want to share?
Yes, I just wanted to let everyone know that everyone that works with us, we're all volunteers. So we're basically, you see that I'm a dietitian by trade. Lance has his financial company and so forth. Mr. Oswald has his own plumbing company, and the master plumber. So all of our personnel that work with us are volunteers. All those are in the tents of us. So we give our time, our work, for these students. So we want to make sure that they know that we're not getting paid for this and we're giving our time. We just want to make sure that they say thank you to the volunteers when they see them, and just have a air of gratitude for what we are doing. Because as Lance said, some were sleeping on couches. Some of our volunteers did that for some of the students prior to the organizing of Bickle, but we just want them to know that what they're very lucky. I think this set coming up for the past 20 years, I guess, are very lucky. So the previous 30 years they did not have this. So just we want them to know that we're volunteers. We're giving of ourselves because we want them to be comfortable, as we've said before, but just to show some gratitude when they do see us at Penn, and just to say thank you for all that we have done in the past and continue to do.
And also find time in their lives to do
back.
Service to Jamaica, because that's where you're born. It should come natural. It grows from the school. Just what you're doing here shows that added dimension to your education, and it'll go further. And through it, you may not earn, but relationships are very important. You gotta build relationships, and service is very rewarding.
Okay, well, I would like to thank you all so much for joining us, and especially like how Miss Brown shared such an interesting point. I think I would like to personally show some gratitude on behalf of those who might not be able to. Yeah, man. So once again, I would like to thank Mr. Lance Lark, Miss Carleen Brown, and Mr. Bowen. Oh, my apologies. Yes, and also Mr. Oswald Hinsel.
Also, continuing on that note of thanks, we'd like to also thank Team Jamaica Bickle for partnering with Kids Hub through this organization. I have experienced firsthand the generosity of Team Jamaica Bickle the very first time I went abroad, and how warm the environment was and how welcome I felt. So I would really like to thank you again for having us there, for having us again, and for being here to entertain us while we go on this walk to journey. And so once again, that was Mr. Oswald, Miss Bowen, and Mr. Lance, and that was Jay Nzinga and myself, Joshua Dillon, here at the 2014 ISA Boys and Girls Championship. This is Kids on Media Network. Stay tuned.